Hi Sam and other viewers viewing this video on YouTube. I'm Eric, so I hope you know. And right in front of me, I have the prologue and the first chapter of The Looking Glass Wars by Frank Beddor on excerpts online because I don't actually have the book yet. My bad. Let's get to it. It's interesting because the prologue isn't actually before the events of this book. It actually seems to be after the events of this book, which is something interesting. I've never seen a prologue done like that. Basically, it's about how she came through the Pool of Tears into London and got adopted by the Little family. Nobody really believed her when she tried to tell her story of all these things that happened in Wonderland. Then she met this man named Charles Dodgson, who seemed to believe her. Charles Dodgson said he would write a book about all her experiences in Wonderland. When he gives her a copy of said book, we find out that it is what we know as Alice in Wonderland today. Alice is completely distraught because she thought Dodgson actually believed her, but now she finds out that he was just kind of playing along with what he thought was her childish fantasy. I admit that I took a few liberties with your story, Dodgson explained, to make it ours, as I said I would. Do you recognize the tutor fellow you once described to me? He's the White Rabbit character. I got the idea for him upon discovering that the letters of the tutor's name could be made to spell White Rabbit. Here, let me show you. Skipping down a little bit. You mean you did it on purpose, she asked. The grinning Cheshire Cat, the Mad Tea Party, he'd transformed her memories of a world alive with hope and possibility and danger into make-believe, the foolish stuff of children. He was just another in a long line of unbelievers, and this stupid, nonsensical book was how he made fun of her. She had never felt more betrayed in her life. No one is ever going to believe me now, she screamed. You've ruined everything. You're the cruelest man I've ever met, Mr. Dodgson, and if you had believed a single word I told you, you'd know how very cruel that is. I never want to see you again. Never, never, never. Then she runs away, and that's pretty much the end of the prologue. Jumping into Chapter 1. Chapter 1. The Queendom had been enjoying a tentative peace ever since the time 12 years earlier, when unbridled bloodshed spattered the doorstep of every Wonderlander. The Civil War hadn't been the longest in all of recorded history, but no doubt it was one of the bloodiest. Those who had entered a little too quickly into the carnage and destruction had trouble adapting to life during peacetime. When hostilities ceased, they ran amok on the streets of Wonderland's capital city, looting and pillaging Wondertropolis until Queen Genevieve had them rounded up and shipped off to the Crystal Mines, a spiderweb-like network of tunnels carved in a far-off mountainside, where those unwilling to abide by the laws of decent society lived in windowless dormitories and labored to excavate crystal from the unforgiving mountain. These three coalitions, Diamond, Club, and Spade, all thought they could rule Wonderland better than the Queen. They're all waiting for an opportunity, as it's quoted, each watched and waited for an opportunity to wrest control from her, keeping a none too friendly eye on the other families in case they happened to make a move first. We come on the scene with Princess Alice Hart. The whole city is in the middle of a gala to celebrate her 7th birthday. And amid all this, she is wondering where her friend Dodge is, but she doesn't know where he is. She and her mother are watching the Inventors Parade. The Inventors Parade is where all the inventors of Wonderland come and show off their inventions to the Queen. And the ones that the Queen likes go into the Heart Crystal, which is a 33-foot tall, 52-foot wide shimmering crystal on the palace grounds, the power source for all creation. Whatever passed into the crystal went out into the universe to inspire imaginations in other worlds. If a Wonderlander bounced in front of Queen Genevieve on a spring-operated stick with handlebars and footrests, and she passed this curious invention into the crystal, before long, in one civilization or another, a pogo stick would be invented. Her father's away in the borderland. Alice is kind of disappointed in her dad, because he's not there for her birthday. He's late, Alice said. He promised he'd be here. I don't understand why he had to make a trip so close to my birthday. There were reasons, as the Queen well knew. Intelligence had indicated that they may have already waited too long. Unconfirmed reports suggested Red was growing more powerful, outfitting her troops for an attack, and Genevieve was no longer sure that her military could provide adequate defense. I think we can assume that Red is the Queen of Hearts from the original Alice in Wonderland, and that she's obviously building up some sort of military against Queen Genevieve. We also find out in the chapter that she's Alice's aunt. Now comes this really cool part where the book is showing off what imagine is going to be one of the primary plot devices. Imagination. Alice has a very strong imagination, one of the strongest imaginations ever seen on a 7-year-old. Basically, how imagination works in Wonderland is you think something and it happens, if you have a strong enough imagination. For example, "It'd be more fun if it had fountains of water coming out of it," Alice said, and immediately the hoop was spurting water from tiny holes all along its surface, the surprised inventor still wiggling to keep it swinging round and round. So, the Queen is thinking that Alice will be one of the best queens ever if she can just hone down her extremely powerful imagination. Closing out the chapter is Queen Genevieve, aware of the dark forces at work somewhere in the wastes of the chessboard desert, knew that joy and happiness didn't last forever in Wonderland. Sooner or later the queendom would come under attack, and it would require all of Alice's imaginative powers, and then some, to ensure its survival. I'm really excited to see how this book turns out, how Alice makes her way through the Pool of Tears and into London, why she does it. I'm pretty psyched. I hope you guys are too. Okay, Sam and other viewers who are viewing this video, well, I'm done here, but I will see you guys when I finally actually get this book. Yeah. Okay, bye. Okay, you caught me. I did in fact take 2 days to shoot this, because I was lazy. This is in fact a different white shirt that I just happened to be wearing today, and I was like, cool, I can pretty much fake it. Yeah.